Hi everyone, welcome to this video. I'm going to do a quick update today. I was at first a bit resistant to doing this video today because I didn't really get the depth of the information that I like to have before I do a video. But they insisted quite strongly on doing a video today, so here I am. And we'll see what comes through as we go along. So the main thing they've been talking about now is that we're moving into creation. So we're really coming into that creative force, getting connected to that creative force within ourselves. What I have been seeing, I've been first shown this energetically, and then I've been seeing it coming up both in conversations and with clients, that there is a womb activation going on for many now. Why is that? That is because we're coming into the creation, into that creative energy, because we're asked to start creating. And remember, it's not something outside of you asking you to start creating something. It's actually a future version of you or a higher aspect of you that are coming online, that are really being embodied more, and that has something to share with the world. So with this womb activation, I also see a lot of continuous heart expansion and opening of the throat. It's very connected, the sacral chakra and the throat chakra, because what's created and what's sort of being held in the second chakra of creation is being expressed through the throat. That doesn't need to be through voice, that can be through anything we create, but it's expression in order to set it out or put it out into the world. Now, what they're saying as I'm talking now is that there's, let me see, okay, right. Okay, so there are more, it looks almost like energy centers around the womb area that are activating. So it has to do with a whole shift in our physical body and our energetic body, of how the energy is moving and the activation of what our physical bodies are capable of doing. And this is not happening overnight, and I don't know, the depth and the specifics of it, at least not yet. But this is sort of what's starting. This is why there's activations. This is why things are starting to move. Now, what happens? Because this is what we need to be aware of now. What happens when we are getting more in touch with our creative energy? What happens when we are? This is the same as the sexual energy, right? So it's also into the sacred sexuality, it's into what we want to create. It's that energy, that force that is really starting to wake up and needs to be expressed, that needs to clear its way. And as this is happening, anything that is of any program of sort of holding ourselves back. Now, this is not a new thing coming up, but it's pretty strong at the moment. Where are we self-sabotaging? Where are we afraid of doing something or stepping into like the next chapter of our lives, stepping into the next version of who we are, stepping into that next creation? Why are we afraid of putting that into the world? If you have an idea, for example, there's something coming to you, why does it stop with the idea? Why aren't you really doing it, making it, creating it? What is stopping you? What are the programs? What are the beliefs you have about yourself that is stopping it? This is going to be triggered now. So what I say is that the main triggers from the external at the moment are to make us aware of these beliefs and these programs, so that we can step out of them. We can have the awareness of the program running that we have learned, or the belief that we have created about ourselves. And then we can choose to step out of it. we might have to make that choice again and again, and we can create new beliefs. We can shift out of that program if we really want. We have to do that with an energy which is stronger than that program. We have to see it, we have to have the awareness, then we have to make the shift because we really want to get out of that. And we create a new thing. We start learning our body, we start learning our brain, teaching it that there's something new, there's a new way of doing it, there's a new belief. This is not the one and only truth. It's something that was created out of an experience, out of a trauma. With this, there's inner child, there's inner teenager that might come up for more clearing, because it's anything that has created, that holds that experience of needing to hold ourselves back, right? Anything that has to do with limitations, so where we have a lack consciousness is going to be shown. It's going to be in our faces. Anywhere where we go into a victim state and victim consciousness is going to be shown. Anywhere where we either are manipulating others or we are a match to manipulation from others is going to come up. Because all of these are taking our power away. All of this is we giving our power away. Because we are really asked to step into our own power. It's all about the empowerment, being who we are, as we have talked about so many times before. But as we're now stepping into what I've been talking about before, right, this masculine energy, and we're going into that, like that, taking action, and that creativity, so, and the womb activation, of course, of all that feminine energy, those are going to be together, and it's going to be created in the world, in the physical, not only in the energetic, not only in the visuals or in the ideas. It's going to be grounded and taken into the world, because the world is ready. So wherever we are holding ourselves back, or we have these beliefs or programs that has to do with lack consciousness, that has to do with victim consciousness, where the ego is talking really loud. The ego will try to keep us safe, because it remembered those experiences where it wasn't safe, or where we just got embarrassed, or we were told something, or whatever it might have been. The ego will try to talk us out of things. The ego will tell you that you are a victim. The ego will very easily tell you that you are a victim of someone else's behavior, for example. Because if you see that you're not the victim of someone else's behavior, you have to see and step up. Stand up for you, be who you are, see where you are sort of withdrawing from really being who you know yourself to be. And then you are giving your power away. Because if you weren't, then you would need to step into what you maybe are fearing. So the ego is trying to keep you safe. But we are transforming that now. We are really, really needing to transform this. So with all the changes that we have been going through throughout the last months, especially now in August, now it's, how can I explain this? It looks like, almost like a whirlwind inside the body, which is like getting the energies into the right places. It's, purifying, clearing where that needs to happen, and then it's activating and just putting on force where that's needed. Like it's sort of starting to align more. And it's all linked to coming into our own power. all linked to the empowerment. And this is not about being special or better than someone or something. It's about being the expression, the complete, natural, full expression of who you are. Respecting yourself, respecting your expression, and not fearing who you are. Because the frequency that we are in now, and the frequency that we are holding in our bodies, so both the frequency on the earth and the frequency within ourselves, is higher than it has been. This is continuous. It has always been going up and going up and going up, so that's nothing new. But every time there's like a jump in the frequency, we go through these changes. And what is now specifically, energetically being shown to me are these things. And this has to do with the creation of what we want to really anchor on this planet. What frequency do you want to anchor? What frequency do you want to live in, to be in? If I have an idea of what I want to create, or what frequency I want to live in, what frequency I want the world to be, and then my choices throughout my days are not in that frequency, I am not creating it. And that can be very challenging at times, because we're going through our stuff, and we have awesome days and we have challenging days or periods. And where the shift happens is when we make the choices that aligns with where we want to be. It means clearing what comes up. It means becoming more aware of ourselves, about our interactions, our relations, and then making the changes. And the more of the essence of who we are that we are aware of, that we are actually embodying, it's not literally, but to explain, it's like a shorter distance from the higher aspect of us till our physical body. It means that we can have like epiphanies, we can have ideas, it can come much quicker than it used to. Our processes can be very different, both processing challenging stuff and the processing creating. So be open for these things to change, and really look out for lack consciousness, victim consciousness, manipulation, as we are stepping into this. Because that's just what's sort of showing itself, that hey, I need to be cleared out, because I'm not coming with you into this creation. Because our creations now are of a whole different frequency. And make the choices throughout your days. Be aware of what frequency your choice comes from. What frequency do you interact from? Is it an open heart? Is it grounded? Is it as transparent as you can? Because that's what's aligning with the frequency of where we're going. So the more aligned our creations are with this, the faster they will happen. There is divine timing. And they're showing me now, it almost looks like this, it looks similar to a grid. It's almost like all the new creations looks like a grid of itself. And this is sort of rearranging. So it means that there will be maybe new people we cooperate with, new venues or new ways of creating for many. And it can be like sudden like shifts in how we do it, where and sort of where the inspiration comes from. And this is another thing they're saying now. What inspires you? Create a day, create your days with as much inspiration as you can. If you know how do you thrive, can you do tiny changes or big changes as to how your life looks like? How is your lifestyle? Is it something that inspires you? Can you make one little change, or can you make several, as to how your days are, how you prioritize your time and your energy, so that you are actually in an environment that is inspiring, so that you allow for this to come, simultaneously being aware of whatever comes up to try to stop you, because that's only the old program running that you are ready to step out of. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thank you to everyone sharing, commenting, subscribing. Really appreciate that. I will be back with a new video pretty soon, I think. Hope you're all doing well. And I'm curious to see how all of our creations are going to be. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.